And you guys need some bells.
Yes, we do.
You guys need some bells. And we're going to have a little practice here once everybody gets their bells. But this song about Rudolph, we just heard this song, and we sing it. We sing it with such joy. But you know, there was a little darkness in there too, wasn't there? You know, in the end, it's happy because Rudolph shines his Christ light. That's what Christmas is about, right? Shining our Christ light. And this time of Advent is that we are preparing to shine our Christ light in the world. The Christ light is our divinity, our own spark of divinity that connects us to everyone and all that there is. Now, when Rudolph started, in the beginning of the song, Rudolph didn't know that his glowing nose was a great gift. All the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph play in the other reindeer games, right? Okay, but then came the foggy Christmas Eve, and his nose made it possible for Santa's sleigh to fly. So, 'tis the season. Rudolph was there for a reason. Okay? So I think does everybody have their jingle bells now? Okay. Let's get your jingle bells and then have our teens join me up here because we are going to have a little jingle off. Because everybody's got a little wiggle. Everybody's got a little wiggle in them right now, right? You want to play with these bells. So let's do it, people. Let's just jingle it out. Let's just get it out, right? Just get it out. And 1, 2, 3, stop. Stop. Very good. Wow. All right. Now, this half of the room. Jingle, 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 and stop. Now, this half of the room. Jingle, 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 and stop. Great. All right. So, now, you have to put your listening ears on now. Because every time I say, 'tis the season, you're going to ring your bell, like 3 seconds, and then stop. Okay? So that's your job. Can you do that? Can you do that? When I say 'tis the season, you'll ring, 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 and stop. Okay. Let's give our teens a minute to come and sit, and Owen, when he's finished his job, because we're going to start talking about George Bailey. Now, some of you may be familiar with this classic movie, It's a Wonderful Life. This is George Bailey. And he had a really special gift that he didn't recognize was his special way of shining his divine light. See, George was very, very kind. And he spent so much of his life helping other people. When he was a little boy, not too much bigger than you, he saved his brother who had fallen through the ice and into the cold water. And then he saved another little boy who was going to get some bad medicine. And then later on, he helped people get into homes that they wouldn't otherwise be able to get into. He made a big, big difference in the world. Does everybody have their bell yet? So Owen, you can come sit down. You want to grab a beanbag? Or you want to sit on the stairs with me?
Can I take the angel wings?
Yes, you can take the angel wings off.
It's not very comfortable.
And you have proven that you are an angel. Thank you for your help.
This one is for me.
Good. All right. Thank you very much. So, we're talking about George. This is George. Okay. All right. And then one day, George had a rough day at work. He had a rough day at work, and he was going to get into a lot of trouble. Have you ever had a rough day? Or something happened that you were afraid you were going to get in trouble?
Yes.
Yes.
Like I did a really bad one. Like when I slammed the door really hard, I made like a squish in the wall in my bathroom.
Yeah.
It was like messing up everything because me and mommy were reading books and I was being bad, so I like messed up everything.
George had a day like that where he messed up everything. Yeah, he did. He did. Now, when you have a day like that and everything's just not going right, do you have a place where you go to be quiet and think, or maybe just to get away from things?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Yeah. I remember
room.
in your room. Yeah. I remember a time I was probably about your age and I was running in the house and I knocked over my mom's favorite lamp and it broke. I ran outside and climbed my favorite tree and I stayed there until it was time for dinner. Yeah. Well, George found himself on a bridge. He didn't know that 'tis the season. So he was here for a reason. He didn't realize that. He just saw all the trouble and all the stress that was happening in his work. He had forgotten that he was connected to the divine. And so as he was standing on that bridge, here's a picture of George standing on that bridge. Somewhere I have a picture of George standing on that bridge. George was very sad that day. He was very sad that day. And as he stood on that bridge, he saw a man fall into the water. Now remember, George's special gift to the world is his kindness. So what do you think George did when that man fell in the water?
Jumped in the water and saved him.
You're right. You're right. How did you know that?
Because it's nice.
Yeah, because that was the nice thing to do. Because 'tis the season. George is here for a reason, right? Yeah, and when that man fell in the water, what do you think George was doing on that bridge? He was praying. Do we pray in Unity? Do we pray? Yeah, we pray a lot.
So good things happen.
Yes. Yes, we pray so good things happen. So that's what George was doing on that bridge. Now, so he saved the man, and it turned out that this man was an angel. He didn't have wings, though. He looked just like a man. And an angel, we know, is God's messenger. So this was the answer to George's prayer. And that angel reminded George of the reasons that he was here. Yes, 'tis the season. You are here for a reason. That angel showed George that it was because of him that people had nice homes, and because of him, his brother was still around and helped soldiers in the war. And it was because of him that the pharmacist was able to help lots more people. Yeah, because 'tis the season. George was here for a reason. And so then George got really happy. And what do you think he did?
He went home.
Yes, he went home to his family. He went home to his family. And when he got there, all the people that he had helped were there to help him. And that's what we teach in Unity too, that what we give is what we receive. So George had given kindness, and so he received help when he needed it. 'Tis the season. All those people were there for George for a reason. And so George and his family shared the season. Yeah, you can look at that book. We're going to talk some more about kindness. So how can we spread our divine gift out into the world? Well, if we want to spread kindness, like George, there's a movement called Random Acts of Kindness you may have heard of. And I found this nifty little Random Acts of Kindness cube that gives us suggestions. What can we do in our daily lives? We can pick up litter. We can give a compliment. We can share a smile. Some very simple things like that. And did you know that those people who study these things say that the average person meets about 10,000 people in their life? So imagine you are affecting 10,000 people. Now, if you smile at just one person, what happens? They smile back. And then they're going to go take that smile out into the world and smile at another person, and so on and so forth. And already, just from that simple act of smiling, you have changed many, many people's lives in one day. So I encourage you to take that message out into the world today, during this Christmas season, and always to shine your divine light, because 'tis the reason you are here for a reason. And I'll leave you with a story about a little girl walking on the beach with her grandfather. And this beach was covered with hundreds, no, thousands of starfish that had washed up on the shore. Now, what happens to starfish? Do you know what happens to starfish when they're stranded on the beach?
They get washed back into the sea.
Well, the lucky ones do, but when the tide has gone down and they're stuck there, they're going to dry up, aren't they? Yeah. So as this little girl and her grandfather were walking down the beach, the little girl stopped and picked up a starfish, threw it in the ocean. And her grandfather kept walking. She took another step, picked up another starfish, threw it in the ocean. Third time this happens, her grandfather turns around and says, "Oh, come on. There's so many starfish out here. What you're doing isn't going to make a difference." And the little girl picks up another starfish and says, "It mattered to this one," and threw it in the ocean. And so think about who's your starfish that you're going to make a difference for today. Where can you shine your Christ light? Because 'tis the season. You're here for a reason, each and every one of you. Thank you. And I have